Hi, welcome back to another 5-Minute Friday. My name is Matrona Jessica Ward, and I'm the founder of Family Legacy Planning Firm. Today's topic is how to create a healthcare directive that aligns with your wants and values. So let's dive in. In the state of California, we have a document called an Advanced Healthcare Directive. This document combines a living will with a healthcare power of attorney. So what it does is it names a person to take care of medical decisions for you in the event that you can't, and then also gives that person specific authorities of what they can decide for you and limits those authorities based on your values. So this agent can only act when you're incapacitated, and it's usually defined as your primary care provider determining that you can no longer give informed consent to medical procedures and medical treatment. You want to consider your values regarding end-of-life care, and a lot of people aren't necessarily prepared to think about that when they enter into estate planning. But you want to think about things like, under what circumstances would you want to be kept alive? Under what circumstances would you want them to let nature take its course? What do you want to happen to your body after your passing? How do you want to be treated in all of this when it comes to your health care and prolonging your life or not prolonging your life? One thing to consider is that nutrition and hydration are considered separate from other forms of life support. So I do have clients who express that they don't want to be kept alive if they are terminal or if they're unconscious or under other circumstances. But then when it comes to the question of nutrition and hydration, food and water, they haven't thought about that, and they decide, no, I don't want to starve to death even if I, am unconscious, or I don't want to starve to death even if I am terminal. Make sure to think through those things because they can be separate. You should also consider whether or not you want to donate your organs. But California is now an out state, which means that you are opted in to donating organs unless you specifically choose not to. So they will try to take what they can. And if it's important to you not to donate your organs, then you need to provide that specifically in your healthcare directive. However, many people do want to donate, and in that case, then you can express whether you want to transplant only or whether you're okay with it for educational and research purposes. And just a heads up, sometimes when a body is used for educational purposes, that does mean that the final disposition of the remains doesn't happen for quite a lengthy time. I've had some clients report that with their parents it took 2 years because they were a university cadaver and they weren't able to get the remains back for that entire period of time. So that is something to consider. For some people that the benefit outweighs it, and for others it just doesn't. If you're a female, you might want to consider whether you want to have a pregnancy keep alive provision. This is a provision stating that if I'm pregnant, anything else that I've said doesn't apply if I'm pregnant. If I'm pregnant, I want you to keep me alive until the baby can be born healthy. And in that case, then the rest of anything I've said, with regard to life support will kick in. So that's an option that you can provide. A lot of my clients who are women of faith strongly want that put in, and I've seen a lot of attorneys don't offer that, so it's important to check if that's important to you, that could be offered. Also consider the disposition of your remains. An Advanced Healthcare Directive is where you're going to put down whether you want to be buried or cremated and in what way. And so if you haven't thought about that, now's the time to start thinking about that and make sure that your wishes are known, because I've seen even in my own family that people have quite vastly different opinions about the subject. So it's important to get it in writing because people who you are close to might not believe what you believe. So make sure that your wishes are followed. If you're going to just do a healthcare directive on your own, 5wishes.org is a good place to start. Just be aware that if you have specific requirements, you might want to talk it over with a professional because you want to make sure that the wording is clear and unambiguous, that a medical professional can follow it without too much, if then and legalese. And if you need more guidance, talk to a lawyer who's a true counselor to help you make those important decisions. That's all for today. Thanks, folks.